Good morning, everybody. Sorry for being late, running around like normal and just trying to get things together for the stream. Wasn't really working out this morning. I had to get music and some other stuff. So thanks for being patient. Only 3 minutes late today, 4 minutes late today. But yeah, let's go. Jonathan Caps, thanks for being here. Havoc, Mike, Robin B, John. Who else? Raj D's here, Steve P. Good morning, everyone. Who else do we have? Shrimp Father, Martin's here, Dave's here. Love it. All right, no messing around today. We got to get started. Want to get a lot done. So hey Nathan, welcome. Backtracked a little bit on the Prusawire. Wasn't really happy with the way the wiring was turning out. We were making the best of it. Spectra, good morning. Just so happens earlier this week on the Prusawire Discord, someone had posted their, I guess, remix or mod of what the electronics would look like. And so I saw that on the Discord channel, pulled it down. They actually uploaded it to printables, and there's also a GitHub. So I shared that with you guys. For me, I like it a lot better as far as keeping everything compact in one big box. And so that should make it a lot nicer. What that means, though, is I got to rip out all the wiring that I did and then put everything back in. So I kind of needed to do that anyway, because if you remember from 2 weeks ago when we were playing with this, the buddy board just was not working out for us. We tried everything we could do to flash that board, get the Pi talking to the buddy board, or I'm sorry, the Einzy Rambo, not buddy board, and it just did not work out. So today, hopefully we'll get that working with an SKR Mini. Hey Happy and Clown Hammer, thanks for being here. But yeah, that's kind of the recap of what we're gonna do and where we have been. How's everybody been this week? It's been a little crazy over here. Went back to work this week, so back from leave. Started off Monday bright and early at 7:45, and just had a day and a half. And that was kind of the story all through the week. And then yesterday was a little bit busy for us as well. We had no power starting at 1:30 in the morning, so I woke up and everything is pitch black in the house, and I just knew it was not going to be a fantastic day. So I put on a ruck and did a 9-miler, about 2 hours of rucking. Got back, power was on, which was great. That was at 9 a.m. And then no less than 3 o'clock, power goes out again, and power stayed out till like 7 p.m. But we had a formal event last night, so dressed up, tuxedo, wife was dressed amazing, and we went on a date night and had a fantastic time. So it ended up turning around, but took a lot of work to get there. And like John is saying, yeah, at least there's power back now. I was really worried that we weren't going to be able to stream today because power wasn't going to work out. But it seems like, fingers crossed, that folks who do that kind of thing have restored the power in a way that it's going to stick around. Poll time. Who's making it to 3D Printopia? Let's do a poll. Let's do a quick poll. I think I spelled it right. There you go. So yeah, hopefully you guys will see what's going on there. How many folks are going to go? John's going? Okay. Jonathan Caps, John NDA. Okay. But yeah, participate in the poll and let's see what happens. One thing I do need to do for you all is drop the giveaway link. So, like always, we try to put on an LDO filament spool giveaway. So if that's interesting to you and that's what you're here for, let me drop that for you in the chat. And we'll pin it here in a little bit. The poll is pinned right now, so it's not going to allow me to do it. But if you fill out the form, we'll get you over to the LDO filament giveaway, and we'll do that here in a little bit. All right, what else can we do real quick? Well, I think we should probably show you what we got. If you didn't see my reel earlier in the week, ended up getting a Panda station and a Panda den for the X1 Carbon. So have that set up at the end of the workbench now, and it's been working fantastic. I get it, it's just a stand and it's just like a storage drawer cabinet kind of thing, but really it's more than that for me. Staying organized is something I've been trying to do better over this year, and I'm getting there slowly, but really what it's going to require is just some decluttering. And every time I get started on it, I get a little messy again, and things kind of snowball. I think I just need to take a day and clean house at some point. So moving forward a little bit with the Panda station and the Panda den. So I'm excited to see that. Good morning, Tin Talon. Athens Metro. Why is Prusa so expensive? You're new with Prusa, and yeah. Why is it so expensive? I think what you're paying for is quality components and the level of customer service that you're going to get. So when you buy a Prusa, you're going to get a warranty, and with that warranty comes international customer service, no matter where you are in the world. So that's kind of what you're paying for. If you don't want to pay that, there are clones out there. If you want to support that kind of thing, you can buy stuff on the secondhand market. Just understand you're not going to get that same level of warranty there. Good to go. See you later. Core 1 just works. John, I hope it just works. 300-ish hours and works great. I love it. I know that some people are seeing like VFAs and some other kind of weirdness with the Core 1. I don't own a Core 1. I would like to, but I don't have any experience with it. But if you tell me it works great, I believe you. My Bamboo Labs work great. Plug them in and just go. My X1 Carbon has slightly over 5,000 hours on it, and I've only had some minor like maintenance type issues. And the H2D is about 1,500 hours on it since I've had it in April, and it just has worked. I've had zero issues with that guy. You want a Core 1 so bad? Made in Czech costs more than China. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Core 1 and PCCF flawlessly. Robin, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. I think there are a lot of different machines for a lot of different people depending on what you're trying to print. So if Prusa and their customer service and their ecosystem works for you, you should buy a Prusa. Absolutely. If you like Bamboo Lab and you just want that to work, and that is kind of your jam, you like the whole connectivity environment of it, then do that. There are a lot of good printers for every price range, and you should get the one that works for you the best. I don't play favorites and hawk one brand versus the other. Get what works for you. Hey, Safe, and no problem. Thanks for popping in. Make sure you like and sub. You enjoy tinkering. Yeah, same, which is why I don't have, other than the one we're working on, why I have not really gotten into the Prusa ecosystem. You can mod, yes, but there's a limit to what you're allowed to do as far as software and things like that. I really like Clipper. That's my thing. And so if I can't do that, I don't necessarily like to play with a printer. Challenge is you always need one working printer, so having one workhorse that just works all the time is very important for me. And so that's why I invested in a Bamboo Lab and Pantheon. But Pantheon is like way outside of my price range. HT90, same thing, way outside of my price range. Also, like Deltas, I've got this Delta down here, and it's fine. I just wish it was a little more polished before FL Sun released it. So since we have gotten the open source firmware for the S1, it's been a lot better, but it's still not great. It's still not perfect. I'm getting better prints off of other machines, and I wish the FL Sun was at that same quality for the price that I paid for it. Sell your soul to the devil. That's why you got the Core 1. Print Farm is all Prusa and running custom firmware for better API integration. Nice. Nice. Then I'll be all good. Well, how do you know I haven't sold my soul already? All right. Well, folks, I think it's about time we look at the project and get started here. Getting about 15 minutes into this, and I want to be respectful of your time. So this is the Prusawire we've been working on, and you'll notice in the background I've got a ton more parts. These are all the parts that are gonna essentially take the power supply from this side of the machine and put it on this side of the machine. You need to have one to say, hey, I'm not a ginger, I have a soul. It's all those gingers out there you gotta worry about. All right, so this is where we are. The only thing that I've done is remove the original stuff. So the box for the CoreXZ Rambo is here. I just removed that, took the board out. The board's sitting over here, so we didn't toss it or anything. It's still around. I'll throw this in the box for whoever wins this and takes it home. So you'll get the original buddy board if you want to revert back. I'll even throw in the printed parts. Instead, we're gonna add the SKR Mini. It's just gonna make a better printer for folks. You'll be able to run regular Clipper on it. It'll talk to the Big Tree Tech Pi that's in here, hopefully. And there's some extras that you can do with this that you are limited on with the CoreXZ Rambo. So this runs 2209s. It's going to be a little quieter. You'll be able to run a little bit faster if you want to do so, and then you'll be able to update later as well. You have extra motors here, so X, Y, Z, and then second Z plus your extruder. So you will have that extra motor port for any kind of crazy things you want to do. You also have a couple of heaters instead of just one for the bed and one for the hot end. You'll have that extra heater. So if you want to run lighting or something like that on 24 volt, you can do it with this board. The CoreXZ Rambo is a little bit limited in that way. Have you heard of the Wrapper Prof? I have not. When do the raffle tickets go on sale? Robin B, that should be later, probably closer to November, is what I understand. And again, I'm not in control of the raffle. I am just assisting the raffle. And as soon as we get more info, I'll pass that along to you guys. But we want to see the project a little bit first, right? So let me take you to that one. And hopefully it's going to capture the correct window here. Of course it doesn't. For whatever reason, my stuff resets every time I shut down Streamlab. So it takes a little bit of time to get in here. What raffle are we discussing? So, John, we are on this channel, and then we have Armor 3D Printing in the chat as well. He and I are teaming up with 3D Printing Elves. And the idea is that we raise money for their nonprofit. All those proceeds go to help kids have a better Christmas at Christmas time, and then year-round, 3D Printing Elves prints and donates toys to schools and orphanages and stuff like that all year round, so kids have something to play with, so they have some joy in their lives. And so Armor 3D Printing and I decided that we would build a couple of printers on stream and then raffle them off to a good home. So raffle tickets will be $10, and there'll be a limited amount, but those will go on sale in November. You can buy as many or as few as you like, but there'll be prizes across the spectrum. So I'm building the Prusawire today. We'll be raffling that one off. I'm also doing a V0, which we saw on stream last week. I'm just waiting for my panels to come in. Shout out to Happy for donating those. Once those come in, I can continue the V0 build. And so in the meantime, we're going to finish up the Prusawire and see what that goes. Yeah, it should be a good cause. So Prusawire is what I'm building. V0 is what I'm building. Those will be both raffled off. I'm going to donate some filament. We've got some other filament sponsors. We've got some other 3D printer related item sponsors. And then Armor 3D is doing a build as well. And he will be raffling off that. So lots to do, and roughly a dozen-ish prizes or so for that raffle. So it's something for everyone if you're interested. Long answer to your question, but it bears repeating. So thanks for asking. All right, let's take a look at this project. So this is the electronics tower by the Nexus Avenger. It talks about using the X-Buddy board for the Mark IV. I'm not using that. I plan to use the SKR, and he does provide the files in here. So this was first teased on the Prusawire Discord. This guy's in there has made quite a few mods for that. So if you go into the Positron Discord, there's a Prusawire channel in there, and that's where this person's been posting their mods or remixes, whatever you want to call it. But this is the photo here, right? So they take the power supply, they move it to the other side, and then they essentially incorporate the Raspberry Pi in the same case. Your main board is in the same case. Your keyback is in there. There's a Gridfinity topper that goes on it. So if you want to keep tools or whatever Gridfinity thing that you want, you can put that right there. Thanks for dropping it in the chat, Nathan. I should have thought about the 3D Printing Elves link, but shout out to Nathan for dropping that in there. Thank you, sir. Yeah, and so this is what it looks like when you're finished. You'll be able to access your Raspberry Pi ports on the back. Where we had it before, the Raspberry Pi was underneath the printer itself, and so it's a little more difficult to access. So as soon as I saw this, having access to your USB ports is huge for a lot of reasons, and so it was almost mandatory that I do this. So we just need to swap out those parts and get it going. As you read through the design here, you can see there's a GitHub link for how to put things together. And if we go over to that one, this is where you end up. And so it will tell you what you need for the bill of materials. And most of this is regular hardware. So once you tear down your printer, you should have a lot of this hardware. If you've built any sort of boron before, you probably have some extra hardware. And this mod will take a lot of that stuff. So you likely have this. You will need a lot of heat inserts. So if you don't have any, definitely going to need that. Pay attention to this stuff if you're not used to building a lot of printers. You may need to pick up some hardware before you tear down your only working machine. And then from there, we get into like sort of a guide. First things first, you want to put all of your heat inserts in. So there are very clear up close photos on where each of these heat inserts go. And so I went through before stream this morning, put all these in, made sure I had the correct parts and stuff like that. Some, like this X-Buddy electronics, you're not going to need this if you're using an SKR. So be selective on the parts that you're printing, lest you reprint them. Cool. So you go through, we put all your heat inserts in, and then we get into assembly. And this is pretty decent as well. So we've got some really clear pictures on what goes where. This upper frame mount is the one that I've already put on. And then where we continue from there is this portion here. So take it over the toolbox and we'll get started on that. All right, so this is that upper bracket that we just put on. There's an M3 by 20 that goes in here, and these are M3 by 40s. This screw here is just an M3 by 10. I believe it's just there to mount something to later. We'll figure it out. But there are supposed to be M5 hex nuts in the back of this door puller frame mount. So let me find that. That's this part here. And you can see there are 4 nuts here. That's probably because your keyback will go in there and you need some way to mount that thing. So before we had only used 2 of the 4 holes. This is a generic version of the same thing. And it's got a 1 kilo I don't know, tension, I guess is the right word for that. So before I put this in though, I got to put these screws in here, and that's the challenge. So nuts go in, screws go in, and then if I can hold on to it, and then this will go in last. So that's your order of operations there. I did bring out the original M5 nuts that I was using when I first built this. Luckily, the tolerance in the printed part is enough to hold the M5 nut in place without it falling out. So should be good to go there. I need to find 2 more because I only had the 2 from the original way we were mounting things. And so keep my hardware over here and let's pull out some more M5 nuts. So we'll put 4 of these in there, and then it looks like we need 2 of the M3x10s. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys a little bit of good news. I was offered to be a YouTube partner on Saturday. So even though I woke up and we had no power and I was like, oh, this is going to be a crappy day, it actually wasn't a crappy day. It turned out to be really cool because we got the channel to be a YouTube partner channel, thanks to all of you for liking and subscribing and sharing and all that stuff. You have actually made the channel grow bigger than I really anticipated it would. Man, I just started in February, maybe the end of January, and then here we are, September, only 6-7 months away, and yeah, we're able to offer memberships and stuff like that. So thanks to you all for making that happen. But I am on the hunt for what would you all like to see from membership tiers. We're growing this thing together, and I don't really super know what all you guys want. So if we're gonna do memberships and stuff like that, what would you want? Are we talking extra streams? Are we talking behind the scenes content? Like, what are you guys looking for when you subscribe as a member to a YouTube channel? I'm open to ideas. Thanks, Nathan. This should go on that way. There are 2 holes in the frame from the way it was manufactured, so those line up perfectly with the 2 screws that we have. Now you're starting to see sort of how all of this comes together, this fully modular system here. You want to be careful of using too long of hardware, because if your hardware is too long, your gantry, as it moves up and down the frame, is going to hit those screws. And I can kind of see that happening right now. Yeah, so that tells me to use M3x10s. I think 8s are going to be what you need. These 10s stick out a little too far. I'm going to swap these for 8s. Okay. Complimentary undergarments. If that's what you want for your membership, I will do my best to make that happen. But here's the cool thing, Mike. No joke. You can actually go on the Killer Prince store and buy bathing suits. You can buy bikinis. Not my idea, but I thought it was funny enough to let it happen. Yeah, thanks, Happy. Yeah, it's because you guys, you tune in every week and you engage and you like the stream and you like what we're doing. So yeah, I think we did it together. Yeah, so 8s are going to work better here. They thread in just fine, and nothing is coming through the front of that. So probably a change for the designer there. The other option would be to not recess the hardware so far into the printer. You just subscribe to channels you enjoy the content, expect the content to continue. That's all. Hey, well, Mike, thanks. And you lurk. Hey, I'll take it. You aren't done with it? So Armor 3D, I restarted. So the buddy board, I'm sorry, I keep saying buddy board. The 1Z Rambo that we tried to put in this thing, the original board for the Mark III, it just would not connect to Clipper. It wouldn't talk. And so I decided to put this in there, printed the parts. Literally, like, the next day after I printed the parts, this mod came out to have everything in one compartment, and I thought that would be better for whoever takes this home. So I'm redoing it because I can't not have it be nice. It's a me thing. You'd be down for some socks? I think we can make socks. I don't know about mankinis though. I don't have a resource for mankinis. I love how some YouTubers rant over open source, then lock content behind a paywall. Hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm a little sensitive to that myself, which is why I say I don't like necessarily want to do members only streams, but I get it, right? Like, you should get something for what you are putting out there. Otherwise, you know, why be a member, right? You could support streams as you see fit by either tipping or dropping like a super chat or something like that. You don't necessarily have to be a member. So as a member, I just feel you should get something for your time. Okay, looking at the instructions, let's say mount the puller with two. So we did that, and then it says place the puller with the puller facing upwards towards the bed. I think that means this way. So towards the bed like that, and then upwards like that. Let's bring this over. I'm not super loving this camera angle today, but I was hitting my head on it last week, so I had to change things. I think what I'll do, I definitely need the hardware here. I think I'll put this on first. I put a washer on this so that the key back doesn't slip off as easily. But now it's kind of getting in the way. Hey, TJL. That's what you enjoy about Steve Builds member streams. Eventually they trickle down to everyone. Yeah, absolutely. I think after the benefit is there and you guys get whatever, it's good to put it out for everybody. And realistically, it helps the channel too. So not only is it a nice thing to do, it actually helps the channel because it's more content and watch time for YouTube, and that, you know, recycles back in and the feedback loop continues. So having that ability to stream but then make it public is good for the creator. All right, I'm probably doing this the hard way, but it works for me. Yeah, that's actually really nice, the way that works. And these need to be different. So this is a, let me look again, what size? Hex nuts. It doesn't tell me what size hardware to put in there. I know they're M5s. Mount the cover with two M3 by 10s. Oh, there is a cover. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So here it says insert a T-nut for 3030 where the box would have been mounted. Okay, so that's down here on the frame. And then 4 M5 by 25s. Is this an M5 by 25? No, it's an M5 by 30. That's why it looked like it was too long. Okay, so let me grab a couple of 30s, 25s. 25s. Yeah, Mike, if you have suggestions, bro, I will take them. But I agree with your paywall comment. Try not to be a gatekeeper. Share as much of my info that I have as possible, because I didn't come up with it. It was given to me by the community. All right, that's there. The cover is this guy. This is our cover here. There's this, I don't know, mounting point here. This is the one that goes up against that frame. That's why you need the T-nut in there. So the cover sort of goes like that. and then you can mount your hardware through, and it just keeps that key back in place. I've only got 2 of these M5x25s, which is enough to keep the cover on. I just need to find 2 more so we can close that off. But yeah, we got to get the right tool as well. There we go. Wrong hole. So I can feel it kind of going, but there we go. Little bit of a misalignment on it, and now it should be good. So I'm just going to connect it to the key back portion like this and engage those M5 nuts. And then I'm going to add that T-nut on the side over here. And I think the way that I want to do it is have it be a roll-in T-nut, so that way it doesn't move around. So let me grab one of those. And I remember them saying it needs to be an M3. I believe I've got some M3s over somewhere. Oh, M3 by 3030 though. Okay, so that's not going to work out. Let's try this. So let's use a regular T-nut, I suppose. Slip that in there, and then try to get this aligned and going in. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh no. Okay, I think I got ahead of myself. I need to... It looks like the box needs to push up against the frame a little bit more before we can tighten down that. So let me loosen these M5s. See how much wiggle room we have in here. Yeah, there's a little bit in there. We'll do that, and we'll use I think it said a 10 in 3x10. Yeah. For this one though, I think a 10 is probably too long. It's hard to tell. I think an 8 will work. I just don't know. Just get that in there. Get that aligned. Yeah, so I'm using an 8 here. That seems to work just fine, but you could probably get away with using a 10. And I don't want to crack that. The way the layer lines are on that, so this printed flat this way, so the little arch that creates the mounting point there has the layer lines going, you know, across the grain. So if you tighten that too much, you could potentially just break that off. So keep that one in mind. We'll tighten down our M5s here a little bit, and that should be that. What's next? I'll tell you what, this is it here. All right, so as long as it looks like this, you're probably going to be fine. Next one is the door puller front cover. Okay, so from the front, it looks like 1 screw is used to allow the cover to be removed and service the X motor. Okay, I didn't even realize that was a thing there. But sure, let's do it. Door puller front cover. Probably gonna have to lift that gantry to be able to do that. Yeah, so right here, just to sort of hide the hardware is what it looks like. And that is this guy here. I think I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of heat. Some stress marks on that ABS. You can kind of see it from the printing cycle. So if you hit it with heat, either a heat gun or what I'm going to use, a torch. Don't melt your part, but your heat can make that go away. Just sort of remelts that top layer of plastic. This is a pretty thin part though, so you can warp it if you add too much. But now it looks pristine. So Get yourself a torch or a heat gun there. And then I'm gonna just slide this in. How is this supposed to go? Let's see. I think it just clips on, right? Oh, there's a bit of support on it, right? There's a very tiny, very tiny piece right there on the end support that needs to come off. It was just enough. It was only like 2 millimeters, just enough to keep that thing from sitting flush. And there we go. Now it's doing what it's supposed to do. We're supposed to do an M3x10 here. Again, I've got these 8s standing by, so I'm going to use an 8. Probably help if we use the correct tool as well. There it goes. Alright. Done. Alright, what do we got next? Looks like the lower electronics Raspberry Pi base wall. A lot of words to say. Use this part. Alright, I think our Pi is going to mount there, but I don't want to do that yet because we're going to need to access these points for something. So let's figure that one out. It says put a T-nut in the extrusion where the buddy box would have been mounted, then mount the wall to the T-nut using an M3x10. Okay, so this goes upside down this way. And then it goes on the printer, like right here. These wires, stay out of the way. This sort of goes like that. Yeah. M3x10 to secure it to the puller cover with 2 M3x6s. Okay, so M3x6s here. And then an M3x10 down here in this one. Got it. All right, so we'll take one of our T-nuts here, put that back down in the frame, and then that says a 10 is what I'm using, and then a couple of 6s for the other portion. What I'd like to do first, I believe, is get this on the frame. That's going to be the more tricky of the two parts because we got to align everything. So this long portion here slips in behind the stuff that we mounted to close off that box. And then your T-nut is going to be right back here. Right back there. And hopefully we can get that. Nope. I need like 4 hands. Let's get this thing where it should be. Yeah, if I had left in like some roll-in T-nuts, they could just move them to the right place. So if you have those super handy and available, I would get the roll-in T-nuts. That way they're not moving on you. I actually prefer those for almost everything, but I don't have mine handy right now. Okay, so we'll just get that in there loosely to hold itself. And then I need to find some M3x6s to do the other portion. Where did that go? Oh, right here. So some 6s are pretty short. Not everyone's gonna have those. So if you pick up one of these kits where you get a bunch of hardware in one kit, it's probably the better option. All right. That looks like a 6, and that also looks like a 6. We'll try those. Hey, Brett, good morning. We are redoing the electronics on the Prusawire. I wasn't super happy with how that turned out, trying to use the buddy board. The wiring underneath really hurt my heart. And this one should let us have everything in one spot and just be super clean. That. Now tighten this one. Great. Okay, okay. Those look like a place for a 5-volt converter. Yeah, clean is good. Thanks. Talking your wire? No, my wiring. My wiring. Because if you remember, we had Raspberry Pi and everything under the base down here. And so I had to do a Nighthawk daughter board down here and a Raspberry Pi down here. And then had all these wires running all over the place. Now, all of those items are going to live right here, which means that we have, you know, one set of wiring to come across instead of stuff going everywhere. I didn't like that very much, and so I prefer this one. You could do a 5-volt converter here. That's what this is talking about in the instruction. I don't plan to use that because the Raspberry Pi can take, sorry, not the Raspberry Pi, the Big Tree Tech Pi can take 24 volt, and so that helps us out. We don't have to add this extra stuff. Morning, Medic Vince. Ooh, let's see. Slide the X buddy box over the 3 loose screws from before and tighten them down. I don't have a buddy box. I may have talked myself into doing something I'm not allowed to do. I don't have a buddy box. I wonder if I can print one. Yeah. Man. Yeah, so that's the part that I did not do the homework on. I think we just kind of hosed ourselves, folks. Man, I'm gonna have to get one of these buddy boxes now. The print file should be on Prusa's GitHub for a buddy box. I mean, it looks like a stamped steel or bent steel box though, so let's see. Prusa GitHub. Let's see if we can find this. There we go. 3D. And let's go to repos. And then we'll do Mark IV maybe. It's the firmware. Power Panic, Stepper 52. I'm not seeing it there, Robin. Prusa i3, that's the Mark II stuff. Yeah, I don't see them having a buddy box anywhere. Prusa Lead puts the STL on printables. Let me check that out. I mean, I'd much rather print one instead of buying a used one somewhere. Let's see. Mark IV. Printable parts. And here, let's see if they got it. Don't need that. Frame maybe? No? Yeah, I don't think they have that particular part available. Fandor Love Board cover? Some of the names on this stuff is pretty funny. Buddy box. Yeah, not getting anything. So you have this cover for the XL, and I think that just, let's see, XL buddy box cover with fan, uses spring contacts, no wiring to printer needed. Yeah, I don't think this is the same thing. I hosed myself. Well, we had a good idea. I should have done more research. Mark IV box is metal and acts as a heatsink. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Steven, is it's not available in the way that some of the printed parts would be. Hey, Nomad. You'll laugh at this, Nomad. I saw, what's the guy's name? Nexus Avengers mod, this electronics tower, and I was like, oh, that's freaking amazing. I want to do that. Not realizing that the buddy box is part of it. I thought this was the power supply. And so I don't have the buddy box. Don't you have the buddy box from the Mark III? Did it hold the buddy board? No, the buddy board is for the Mark IV. The Mark III uses a Rambo. And so it's just different. And that was a printed part. I wonder if they have the CAD model. So is there a CAD model for this? No. There sure isn't. Let's see, Prusa Mark IV CAD model. That's for Prusa size, so that's not going to be helpful. Maybe this guy? I mean, it says it's here. Mark III is printed, Mark IV uses metal. Yeah. Nomad, do you know if Printed Solid sells a buddy box? Can I just buy one? I'd much rather do that than the craziness that was going on with the wiring. They do. Okay. So John says they do. Man, I think I'm gonna go to Autodesk. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted like the viewer. That way I can show you all what this looks like. Nope, can't show that. Oh, let me check. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. All right, Mike. Have a good time at the Renfest. This may be a shorter stream than we. Do not sell the buddy box, man. Okay. Well, let's see. Mark for buddy box. So that's a cover. Oh, you lied? You do sell it? It was under a different name. Oh, what do you guys call it on Printed Solid? X Buddy Box. Because of course. X Buddy. There she is. Only 20 bucks. Look at that. It's compatible with everything. Oh, that's not what I wanted. But we'll add that to cart and pick that up afterwards. The link you posted has it. So, John, it's not going to allow you to post a link, so it never showed up in chat. Yeah, it never showed up in chat, so I didn't get it. But that's what we need. Thanks, Nomad. I need that and the cover. And the cover. There's only $8. X Buddy box cover. Right there. Add. Yeah, it's only $8. But we got it, John. Thanks for trying. Chat's just not going to let you post a link. That's all. Well, without that buddy box, I don't know that I can press forward. Grab some filament while you're there. Oh, trust me, every time. So if I'm going to spend $20 on a website, especially at Prusa or Printed Solid, I'm normally getting filament. That's what happened last time, and I ended up with some Jesse because of it. When I ordered what are they called, the heat expansion joints that you recommended, I got those and I was like, well, I'm already here, let's get some free shipping on it. We picked up, I think, 4 spools of, this is PETG, 4 spools of PETG. Prusa salad, yeah, it's so much in my vocabulary now. I'm ruined forever. You might as well just call it Prusa salad. You should recommend that to David. I mean, this is basically Prusa in the States. You guys have everything and it's awesome. You will always load the cart with filament to get that free shipping. Yeah, exactly. Because right now we're at only 30 bucks for a Prusa box. Let's see what you guys have for filament. In stock, as always. And then we want the 1.75. Your Prusa wires graduated from test prints. I know, I saw your prints. I saw your machine. Super jealous that you beat me to having it working. I was so far along and then decided to change course. But I got a little bit delayed with having to order parts and stuff like that. And so here we are, delayed another week at least, because I need a buddy box. Bad on me for not researching what I was working on. So, you live and you learn. Be better than me, kids. Be better than me. Okay. So we sorted by in stock 175, but I'm not seeing any filament. Hold on, let's go here. There we go. And then now we can do in stock. And now we can do 175. What should we get? Hey, Boothy. Where you picked your core? Oh, you got your core 1 from Prusa Solid. Great. It's working on making multi-board plate snaps. Nice, dude. Are you going to multi-board your entire space? I would love to. Like right behind this camera that you're looking at here is a wall, and that wall is blank. Above it, I have the rep racks, so a bunch of filament up there. But there's still room behind the monitors and stuff to have a multi-board wall. And I think I started printing some of that stuff, but kind of put it to the side because I knew I was going to change the streaming setup. So I haven't installed anything yet. But you'll have to let me know how you like it, because I want to get into some multi-board. Your space is already multi-boarded. Okay. Get some sparkles. Finally working on your toolbox project, all multi-bin. Dope. Get some sparkles. Let's see. It looks like a lot of PETG. I'm not seeing anything sparkly. What if I just get rid of one of these? Oh, there we go. So some PLA with some glitter. If you visit Printed Solid, I will show you. I would love to. I would love to come down to Printed Solid. You guys are just literally on the other side of the country from where I'm at. Get Elixir. I've never used Elixir. That's like the silk type stuff, right? I know that it's very beautiful. I've seen a lot of prints with Elixir, but I've not personally used it. Soul Black. I like the Soul Black. That's the first one that I was kind of looking at there. So let's just add that one in there. Okay, then get Elixir. If I've never used Elixir, I should get Elixir. That's the recommendation here. Maybe if we take away the filament size, because I'm not seeing it. I usually always get one of these transition rolls because it's such a good deal. Like, why not 100% get Elixir? Elixir is great. It's almost as strong as PETG, PLA and TPU. Yep, tracking. Yeah, so most silks are PLA plus TPU. That's how you get the shine. What else? Oh, you guys have Prusa Man too, but of course it's sold out. Only spell it bad. Elixir. I don't know, I like the way you spell it. It sounds fancy. Yeah, I don't go through the printed solid filament too often. This is really kind of the first time I'm looking at it in a couple of months. I'm seeing some gray, a lot of PETG. And you guys have Prusa in 2 kilos. That's great. There's some Royal Elixir. So we're gonna do Elixir. What's the most purchased color? So it's strong. Most silks are very weak along the layer lines. Yours is OG Polyalchemy. I love it. It prints nice. Okay. What color are we going for? This red looks really cool, but my favorite color is green. And so Misty Green ticks the box. Aquamarine, I like that. And gold. Okay. I do have a couple of projects I need to do in gold. Nightshade. Okay, I'm hearing 2 Nightshades. Misty Green and Nightshade. So Robin's doing a 3rd Nightshade here. Let's see if we can find that. Bronze. That looks like green. I guess it's weathered bronze. Electric Lemonade looks cool. Still not seeing the Nightshade though. Unless I passed it. Oh, dope. I didn't know you guys sold Icy 3D. I've used a couple of their things. This PS Imports looks cool with the glitter. That's Starry Sky green. Yeah, I'll search it. That's what I was about to do. But your transition filaments, or whatever they're called, the glitter stuff, and then this gradient. That's the word, gradient. Those things kind of caught my eye. I've got 3 daughters, and one of them is 7, and she loves the silky stuff with the glitter and the gradient. And so I always have to keep some of that around to print toys for her. She had me do a, what's it called? The K-pop Demon Hunter sword. She wants to be that for Christmas. Or something for Christmas. Man, I could tell I didn't sleep last night. She wants to do that for Halloween. And so, like, Dad, you got to print me a sword. So I found Kit Kiln. Sorry, not Kit. Loot Lab has a kid-size Demon Hunter sword. And that's what I made for her yesterday. Of course, it is Pet G with glitter and a silk gold. A wild Christmas. Hey, we get weird out here. We're searching for Nightshade. Ooh, it's like a purple. I like that. Add that in there. And then, what was it? Loot Lab. There it is. This is the one that I was just talking about. So if you want this, it is free on Thangs. If you got kids like I do, they're probably into K-pop Demon Hunters. This is a perfect little, dagger size thing. It is in California. You're not wrong. Not wrong. But yeah, this was a super easy print. I had one plate on the X1 carbon, the other plate on the H2D. Both got done within a 3-hour time frame. You don't need glue, just kind of goes together, and the end cap screws on and holds everything tight. So works for her. I printed it not in purple like this. I printed it in clear glitter PETG, and then the gold pieces I kept in gold, and she loved it. So I became Dad of the Year yesterday. That's where you can find it. If you guys want this, I'll drop the link in the chat, and that way we support our creators. All right, I'm gonna close this poll because I forgot that we were doing it, and we'll get some results here. Are you going to Earth? Almost 80% of people said no. No, there's no LEDs in it. That was the first question my wife asked me. I was like, hey, this ain't for you. You don't get to critique my prints. But she's like, does it light up? And I was like, no. But there was a full-size one that I saw. It's a paid model on Colts 3D. It's a full-size model that does have LEDs and a battery pack and stuff like that. But my daughter's 7. She's all of 40 pounds. She doesn't need a human-sized sword that she can't carry around, because I'll end up carrying it around all night. So the smaller one works better for her. But I'm sure you can modify it to put LEDs in there if you wanted to. Can't make it, you're doing surgery next week? Oh no, Robin, hopefully everything turns out okay. But for those who haven't entered the giveaway, I will post it one more time, and this time we're going to pin it so that folks can get entered if they want to. Pretty soon I'm gonna close the giveaway and we'll do this. We're not going to make progress on the Prusawire today until I can get the order in for those parts. In the meantime, because we're just stalling at this point, let's take a look at the V0 and show you progress on that one. Let's move the to be continued Prusawire off the workbench. We'll bring the very much portable V0 in frame. This is as far as I've gotten. It's upside down right now because I need a motor. I need a 9-tooth motor for the Galileo belted Z, and I failed to order the kit with the motor. I only got the parts because I thought that I had a motor that would work. Again, me not paying attention. So I'm waiting on that motor. That arrives Tuesday. I'll be able to continue the build in the background, but we've got an assembled frame that is otherwise square and straight. And the belted Z, I'll turn it sideways here. The belted Z actually works really well. Really well. I like that, and I'm super jealous. I'm gonna have to do that for my build. I did do the brace that Nathan suggested. A couple people suggested it in the chat that we do the brace. It really helps out the Kirigami bed. And so I printed that. We'll do a 3010 fan in there, so that way you have a little bit of like convection on the bed to circulate that heat. And then I still need to print parts for the aux fan. So I'll have Nevermore over here. I'll have aux fan over here. And that should help with some of that circulation as well. Starting to run out of ports though. So having that clipper expander project in the back is going to help with things like this extra fan, the aux fan, the Nevermore, stuff like that. But yeah, coming along. Very Christmassy. I was out here the other day building on this, and the wife comes out and she's like, oh, that's like the most Christmas thing I've seen, and it's only September. I was like, yeah, well. But my youngest, the same one who we made the sword for, loves it, wants me to keep it. I can't do that. It's got to go to one of you guys. So hopefully you like it. We'll get around to doing this at some point. But again, I'm waiting on the motor. I need panels still before I can finish up the frame, or else I would have been a lot further along on this guy in particular. But yeah, coming along pretty good. Pretty good. So what else are folks working on in their own workshops? I think that's what I'm more interested in, is what are you guys working on? How can I help you all be successful? Prusawire tuning? Okay. I think I saw some of your graphs, Aaron. When you say tuning, you mean like input shaping, or are we talking about like firmware? Tin Talon's doing Christmas print drive toys for Loyal Moses. Love it. Can I make one that resembles the colors of the delicious Maryland blue crab? Actually, yes, I can. My V0, my personal V0, is a blue framed V0. And so, while yours is delicious in Maryland, mine is the best in Carolina. TGL Maker Chips. Help me finish Maker. Hey, Safe, reach out to me. Tell me how I can help. How many replicators are you talking about? John's still working on his T0, but picked up a 2.4 kit as well. Dope. What's it? Remind me, what's a T0? tuning any CoreXZ is hard. I don't disagree. My Switchwire's sitting up there right now because I got frustrated. It hasn't moved in 4 or 5 months, something like that. Profile tuning. Nomad's fitting facts. Actually tuning printer profiles too. Okay. What do you need help with? Any updates on Inertia Cube? Well, I'll give you an update. So I've got a couple of things going on. So I think I mentioned it last week that I removed the Corvus G board that we originally installed on stream. Sold that off to someone that was really looking for a Corvus G. So we made sort of a trade swap kind of deal. I sent them my Corvus G. They sent me a Leviathan. This is that Leviathan here. So I've added on the, probably go this way. I've added on the expansion board, so that gives me the extra 2 steppers that I need for X and Y, because the Inertia Cube is an all-wheel drive system. And then I've added on a Pi. So this is from, man, I forget the printer I removed it from, but it's a Pi 4, and then this is the top hat to keep the Pi and stuff cool. Little tight with the cable there, but this is a limousine. I mean, it needs all 3 of these clips. This is the longest control board I think I've ever seen. This is bigger than a Kraken. It's bigger than a Spider King. It's literally the biggest control board I've ever held in my hands. So if you're going to do one of these, you're going to do an all-wheel drive build, be prepared to have this. This cooling tunnel I found on printables somewhere. I don't remember off the top of my head the name of the maker, but it fits okay. I probably could do a little work on it, but it fits fine. So I need to put this in the Inertia Cube. So that's one update. I've also got these. These are CNC machined tensioners, courtesy of Double T, if you're familiar with him. He machined these out for a few of us in the beta group. And then he's also sending me, and that's why we haven't really attacked the Inertia Cube again. He's also sending over some, what is it? The double shear top mounts for all 4 motors. So once those come in sometime this week, I'll be able to get back on Inertia Cube, install these, install those double shear mounts, and get this Leviathan installed as well. That's your Inertia Cube update. Two replicators, one meme bot, one MakerBot clone. Yeah, Aaron, whatever you need help with, man, just reach out. You've been really cool, and I don't mind helping, so whatever you need. Must have the touch. Decided to rebelt the XZ on Prusawire. Absolutely was necessary. Got the belts exactly the same in terms of tension. Was that the big change that you needed, Nomad? Is that you were just seeing it go crazy and couldn't really dial it in, and changing belts helped you out? Tell me how to make it more memey. If you want to make it more memey, I would recommend, let's see, put a tube on it. Put a tube on it. Put like a 120 aux fan on both sides and send it. See if you can make really ugly speed benchies. That's about as meme as I could think of. Nathan's making his own design of a Voron Legacy. Nathan, you and I should talk. I am very interested in making a Voron Legacy. I've actually got a frame on the way, and over time I will slowly build it into a Legacy. But I also have a kit for a baby Legacy, so V0 sized Legacy. I'm really interested in doing that one as well. So I would love to help you be successful with your Voron Legacy Trident mix. Okay, so rebelting fixed X, but still has some VFAs on Y. I think the VFAs on Y is probably coming from the fact that it's still a bed slinger. That was my experience with the Switchwire, is that even though it's on linear rails, and even though things are pretty tightened down, I think I even did the 9mm belt mod on my Switchwire. So I get a little thicker belt, I can run a higher belt tension. I was still not getting prints that I would consider passable. And so I think it may just be one of those things, you got to get it good enough and send it. Some of your Y shapers. Later, it's pretty... Well, if you do have questions about Y shapers, Reth is our resident input shaping expert. So if he's still around, he may be able to link up with you, Nomad, and help you out on some of that. It's already running 4 MCUs, CAN bus, and Bowden. That's pretty ridiculous. Add the Cyclops with 2 extruders. I mean, do it. What's up, Lee Marie 3D? Jeremy, good morning. I'm pretty sure Keela's going to pop in here in a couple of minutes. You guys normally time it just so. Okay, so Nathan, you already published it on GitHub and already working on a revision. Do me a favor, drop the link. Let's share it on stream and see if we can get it some viz. I mean, not only me, but I'm sure there are other folks out there that are willing to help you be successful. And so maybe they can push some pull requests and stuff to you. You can talk to me on Discord? Okay. Yeah, just reach out, shoot me a message. And that goes for anybody in the chat. If you have questions or you want to share stuff, you want to talk about certain things, hit me up on Discord. I'll talk to almost anyone. All right, so Nathan's got his GitHub here. Let's check that out. Legacy fork. Oh, very cool. So yours is fully enclosed. Not only a fork of the legacy, but also a big fork. I love the wordplay. Okay, so help me understand. It looks like it is a Trident, and then you've just replaced the gantry with a legacy gantry. Is that the gist of it? This is the first time I'm seeing it, so I'm digesting in real time. And my words are, you know, coming straight from the brain out the face hole. This looks like a really cool project, dude. So it's giving me ideas, right? So I've got this Ender 6 over there that I've been dying to do something with. And I wanted to turn it into a Trident, but I've already got a Trident. I've already had 3 Tridents. I've sold off 2 of them. I'm keeping the Seabore all-wheel drive Trident because it's all CNC'd and very, very nice. Same quality as what we did on the Rat Rig as far as build status and quality components. So I don't want to get rid of that one. That one's really stout. This might actually be a way forward on that Ender 6. Because the frame is kind of half 2040, half 2020. So adapting something like this onto that frame would not be too difficult. I mean, obviously the bed is a little bit different, so there's some weirdness there, but overall, man, I really like the project so far on its face, and it's only a 250. Print a full 250 with the Trident bed. Yeah, I think a couple of weeks ago, I've been started to say, you know, I'm looking for a 250 V2. And I'm still sticking to that. I still want a 250 V2 because large printers like the H2D, the 300 Rat Rig, the 350 Trident, and then my other 2 Borons are also 300s. I'm really looking for something a little more compact. I think this 250 ticks the box. And I'm pretty sure, let's take a look here, that West 3D has a 250 frame. Do you know off the top of your head if I can just get a frame, a Trident frame, and use that? Or have you made modifications to where the frame needs to be custom? All right, let's search it then. Trident frame. Here we go. So if I'm able to do a regular 250 frame, I would love to build it in red. Hey, Birdman, any weather? What up, 100? Thanks for popping in, man. We're gonna do a giveaway here in about 10 minutes, and then we'll call the stream early. I got myself into a pickle this week. Didn't plan very much, and now I'm hosed. So we're paused on the B0 build because I didn't get the parts in time. They got delayed, and now they'll be here Monday. The Prusa wire, I started to do a different direction with the electronics. Turns out I don't have the X-Buddy board enclosure case metal thing that I need, so I need to make that order today. Yeah, and it's only 130 for a 250 frame. But this is the only 250 frame that I know of. I don't know anybody else that does a 250 frame. This is also only for Trident. I have not seen a frame kit for a 2.4. So realistically, other than a frame and a bed and a heater, I probably have everything I need to build a 250 Trident. You're on mobile right now, so DLL PDF. True. True. They can get you anything you want. So fair, but also I'm talking like an LDO frame kit that, you know, is not custom. Just buy off the shelf. And I think, honestly, like DLL PDF, with the quality that they send out, it's roughly the same cost as something like this. But, hey, if you're building something weird, they're my go-to. They were the ones that did the Baby Legacy frame for me, which is a 1515 frame in space gray. So, good folks over there. Hey, Steve, good morning. You want to do a 250 Trident next? Well, here's the kit. You don't know, you self-sourced it. Okay. Well, let's take a look at your project. You do have the bomb in here. It just says a frame kit. So if all I need is a frame kit, that tells me I can just get the frame kit, right? Switch thread when? I know that's a printer. I have no idea what it is, though. Well, Nathan, I want to publicly thank you for spending another $500 of my money on this Trident Legacy. Steve, have you seen this yet? If you're still here, I know you like to pop in and just say hi. But Nathan, who's in the chat, took a Legacy and a Trident and mashed them together into this thing he's calling a Legacy fork. And I think it's kind of cool. It's a 250 build, so it's more manageable. And it seems like it uses mostly off-the-shelf parts. So I may end up doing one of these. It's Switchwire, but small. Oh, yes, yes. I have seen that. I'm interested in that. I've got that bookmarked for later. There are so many projects stacking up that I've got to get through some stuff first. Number one priority is Prusa Wire and V0. After that, I'm open. A DLL PDF for the win. Pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. Actually, usually stick around for a while. I know, you're just not chatty. I'm just saying, like, you're like me, where you're out early and probably setting up for stream and that kind of thing, so you're just kind of lurking. And I just wanted to share this one with you. So, I'm probably going to do one of these. I've been wanting to build a Legacy for a while, and while this is not true to form, I think it's close. And I'd be willing to give it a shot. Good background. Just good, right? Just mediocre background. Love it. And I'm teasing, by the way. Switch thread, a switch wire for ants. Yes. Yes. But here's the challenge, right? So I just mentioned that we have a switch wire. It's the one that I won at Vice last year. So thanks to LDO for giving that away and allowing me to win it. But I don't use that one that often. Realistically, a switch thread would be a cool build to do because I enjoy the mechanical assembly and setup of a printer. I don't know that I would use it that often. Hey now. Yeah, well, we're at the 5-minute mark away from a filament giveaway. So if you're not in there, you need to click the link that's pinned in chat and sign up for the giveaway. I want to give you filament. Help me help you. But I do want to check out this switch thread now that you've got me going. This one, a small switch wire. Yeah, exactly like I remember. About 2 years ago for the last updates. That's about the time frame that I remember seeing this for the first time. But they've got their own channel in the Discord, so there's probably more updates over there. There's at least 2 in the wild. That's cool to see. I don't know that I would even close it. I think I would just leave it open. But yeah, this is kind of cool. Yeah, very cool. Damascus Everglades, you never got an email last week because I failed you. I will own that one. I failed you. So what I did is after the stream, I meant to copy down your email. And so I highlighted everything. But instead of hitting Control-C, I hit delete. And I couldn't find you on YouTube to send you a message. I couldn't find you in my Discord to send you a message. And I apologize for that. So I figured it out this morning, actually, and emailed that to Jason this morning. So I apologize. You're going to be a week late getting yours, but it is coming. I sent that email off this morning. Again, sorry, that's on me. You're not going to get a dueling 0. Not out of me. There's just so many projects and too little time. Next goal is the downsides. I saw that. I saw that you had like a teaser. Would you call it a mini wire? Something like that. I used to have a Prusa Mini. I ended up selling it to my buddy who wanted a smaller machine. I built him a 350 Trident, and he was like, dude, this thing is huge. I love you. Thank you. Can you like do something smaller for me? And I was like, I'll tell you what, you can take my Prusa Mini. And so we made a deal for that one. But yeah, I liked the Prusa Mini for what it was. Dub BGS on Discord. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, like I said, I sent your email off this morning. Hopefully Jason will be in contact with you in the next day or so. He can get you what you need. Again, apologies. Hey, Penguin Makers and Keela, good morning. Do the right thing, quit your job to build. I would love to. If I could build printers to a point where it would be sustainable for me to live and take care of my family, I would absolutely do that. Absolutely do that. I have a certain quality of life right now that I would love to maintain. And so to do that, I have to do things that are not what I would prefer to do. Still want to rat rig V Minion, but I think that ship has sailed. Petty, I have a V Minion. If you're interested, maybe we can work something out. I don't use it very often. I was going to rebuild it with a belted Z, and like many of the projects, again, the whole reason for the channel is to finish projects. Like many things, I needed to order parts, so I put it to the side for a little bit. That little bit became a long time, and it's been sitting over here unused for about a year. But yeah, if you look at my Instagram, you can see that I had a working V Minion roughly a year and a half ago, and I printed actually my very first boron. I printed on that V Minion in a cardboard box. So it took a long time to print all the parts, but yeah, my first boron was printed on a V Minion. Yeah, DM me. We can work some out. Start a 3D Pro gating builders commune. Pro gating builders commune. I'm not sure what you mean. I know what a commune is. I know what a builder is. What's a gating? Good morning, Hadron. All right, I think I'm gonna close this thing down and get you guys what you need. Get you a little filament in your lives. Who doesn't need more? Who doesn't need more? Gaming? Is that what we're talking about? Pro gaming? 3D printer building. I got you. Building. Dude, so Reth, I'll just move in with you because as soon as I quit my job to build printers, my wife's gonna kick me out anyway, and I'll probably need a place to stay. I'm seeing 26 responses. I see 33 people on live right now. So if what is that, 7 of you don't want filament, I'm cool with that. But I want to give you a chance. You've got about 30 seconds or so to click the link, enter your details, and then we'll do a filament giveaway. Finally cooling down a bit. Got room in the back house. I know you do. I know you do. Maybe we can get that, what is it, the Lowsbot going? And hit that like button. Not wrong. Hit that like button. Liking the stream is the reason that we were able to be able to give filament away each week. It's also the reason that we became a YouTube partner literally yesterday, because of you all liking the stream, spending time watching, and doing that thing. Oh shit, look at that. Happy, thank you. Welcome to Floppy Hot Dog Council. Happy is our first stream member. Very cool. Lowsbot Mini or Taz 5 to 6. I forget which one Ref had, but I remember it being big. And I don't know that much about Lowsbot to identify which printer it was. Only 23 likes. Yeah, happy. So I was able to do memberships literally yesterday. I got the invite email from YouTube, and I was like, what does this mean? And so I just kind of went in and clicked the button and then started reading. And then it turns out by clicking that button, I turned on memberships. So it is what it is. Hey, thanks, Steve. Welcome to the First Layer Gang. And Patty, thanks. You guys are awesome. Yeah, literally yesterday. I was talking about it earlier, Steve. So woke up yesterday. Our power went out at 1:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. Did not come back on until 6 a.m. And then it was on for about 10 minutes and then went off again for about an hour. Came back at roughly 8:30-ish. And then was on most of the day, went off again at 3 p.m. Did not return until 7 p.m. And so we had a lot of anxiety about coming on stream today and being able to get anything worth a damn on stream. So far so good. I don't know what was going on, but the power company was playing games. Man, you guys are killing it. Thank you so much for becoming sponsors. That helps the channel so much. Thank you all. And I know some folks came in later after we were talking about it, but what do you want to see for your memberships? 75 NT. Thank you, Nathan. Floppy Hot Dog Council. Lee Marie, 5 gifted memberships. Hey, who we getting? Who? Damascus Everglades is now a membership. Shrimp Father's a member now. Nice. Thank you, Lee Marie 3D, Jeremy and Keela. Cybertech got a membership. Raj D's got a membership now. Welcome to the team, everybody. Yeah, so back to the conversation, right? Like, what do you guys want for your memberships? Do we want extra streams? Do we want... Wow, Steve's coming in with some gifted memberships. Thank you, Steve. So now Kitchell's a member. Nathan's a member now. Robin's a member. Spectra. Steven Machado. Wow, people taking care of people. I love it. Tattoo our names on myself. So I've already got one of these. Oh, can't see it. Here we go. I've already got one of these. The wifey has the matching one. Not doing... Yeah, got to get it started strong. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for being a huge supporter of the stream. You've helped me out more than you realize. Just by being cool people and answering questions. Never thought we'd be here today, so thank you all. Nomad, awesome. Thank you for being a sponsor. But yeah, we got to figure out what that means going forward. I'm literally 24 hours into even realizing that I'm able to offer this. So I want to get back to you all. What can I do for you all that would be worth your time? You have to remind your audience. Yeah. Tramp stamps, I've already got one. Right back here. It's tribal tattoo. It goes across the back. Big fat red rose in the middle. Earned 3 extra minutes for the giveaway. You sure did. You sure did. Don't remind them enough about all of the YouTube stuff. Nomad is tough, man. Like, if you're anything like me, you don't come here to do memberships and to be supported and that kind of thing. We do this because it helps us get projects finished. It helps us be accountable. It brings us community that we don't get other places. At least that's why I do it, right? I'll speak for myself. And so any kind of support is awesome. Find my roll of clear Pet G for me. Steve, I got you. Right here. Check this out. Oh, don't drop it. I've got some Green Gate. This is clear PETG with sparkles. It's their brand new Twinkle Twinkle PETG in 1.75 flavor. So Barbara and Rich sent this over. It's their brand new stuff. It came as part of their like light and dark pack, something like that. Twinkle Twinkle is one of them, and then there's like a translucent black that comes in the 2-pack. So can I get it to you in the next 10 minutes? Only if you're passing through Lancaster. I'll meet you right outside the gate, and then we'll throw it in the car. How's that sound? I can't tell if you're serious about the tramp stamp. Petty, you'll just have to come over and find out. Pizza. After the Prusawire success, it finally got more wind in your sails. Congrats. Yeah, I've been trying to tune in to your streams, not only to help me kind of understand what I need to do for the Prusawire, but also to support you and to make sure that you're successful as well. All right, filament giveaway, guys. I think it's time. Let's remove all of the folks in there from last week and move this to my other window so that we can all see what's going on. And we'll put you here. And of course, we got to scroll up because... All right, let me copy over your names. If you're not in the giveaway, you have about 5 seconds to get into the giveaway. I'm seeing 30 responses now, so folks are starting to listen. That's great. There's still 3 of you that don't need filament. So we're going to close in let's see, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Giveaway is closed. We got 30 responses. And viewing your names here, looks like John Caps was first. So John NDA, you were first. And then our last person was Keela. Very nice. Let me get all of your names over. TJL in giant letters. Respin if you win. You won last week. Yes. So Damascus Everglades. I don't necessarily have a rule for how many times folks can win or anything like that, but I think you're right. I think winning multiple weeks in succession like that is probably not fair for folks. And so I'm considering doing like once a month you're allowed to win. So that way, you know, Petty doesn't win every single week. That's a joke. Love you, Petty. But to make it more fair for folks, right? We want everybody to have a fair shot and everybody to have a good chance to use some awesome filament. All right, how many times are we spinning this thing? I need a number, folks. What do we think? Why are you catching strays? Yeah, you're catching shade, Petty. That's what you're catching. Shade. So much shade, it blots out the sun. John says 7. 37 for Robin. You know what? Robin helped me out with the Mark IV buddy box. I'm going to do this 37 times. JC Production says 37. That's 2 confirmations for me. That's 1 more than I needed. So we'll do it 37 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And go. She just said, Petty, I'm just always think Killa is messing with me. That's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. So I have this very good habit of saying the most crazy stuff with a completely stoned face. So you don't really know if I'm messing with you or not. So it's fair to assume that I'm just playing. 3D Medic Vince, you are the chosen winner for this week. I need you to tag me in chat or I gotta pass. You get, as tradition, 69 seconds to tag me in chat or I go to the next person. The straight face pulls it off. Jeremy, I've had tons of practice. I do it at work. We talked on the phone yesterday. There he is, 3D Medic Vince. Thank you, sir. You are our winner for this week. I'll have Jason reach out to you with an email. He's going to gather your details because I don't want to know where you live for obvious reasons. So I'm going to pass your email address off to Jason. He's going to make contact with you or someone from his team, and he'll make sure that you get a spool of LVO filament of your choice. So what I would recommend is that you go find a color you prefer and be able to respond to him when he's ready. Make sense? If you're running into trouble, let me know. Just reach out to me on Discord or something, and I'll make contact and see what we can figure out. Congratulations. But yeah, so Jeremy and I were talking about tactics. I'll say it that way. Tactics yesterday, and how to negotiate. And that's one of the things that I do a lot is I may stand here and smile and be joking and have a good time, but that's here with you all. And so at work, I got to be a different guy. And I will often say things completely straight-faced that are A, ridiculous, B, I don't mean it, or C, enough to make you be like, is this guy really serious right now? Tactical Tactics. Sounds like a new channel, Tactical Tactics. But we'd probably be making Nerf blasters and getting banned on YouTube if we launched that channel. But what I do want to know, Jeremy, since you're still here, when are we streaming? We talk about this all the time, and we never commit. We never set it up. We never do the thing. Why are you sandbagging me? Yeah, it's funny, huh? Let's finally do the thing. Let's set it up. Give me a call here in like an hour. I've not had breakfast yet, so I need to go do that. Peer pressure, set it up. Nerf blaster is bannable. Yeah, excessive builds. I don't want to get into like too much of other people's business, but Lemery 3D, amazing couple streamer on YouTube here, streaming on Tuesday evenings and Saturday mornings. Fantastic people, both in real life and on YouTube. They were streaming a Nerf blaster build, and YouTube got a wild hair and said no, and shut down the stream in the middle of a live. And so, yeah, it sucks, but it took them about a week of fighting to get the channel back up, or get the ability to live stream back up. So all of that over a Nerf blaster. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I gotta buy dinner? Not a problem. I'll buy dinner. What flavor of ramen do you like? Do you like chicken or beef? Jeremy said he figured me out. Sometimes I go to him and I feel like, is he for real? Shrimp flavor. There you go. I like, what do they call it now? It used to be like a very generic term for like Asian. I forget the name of it. But that used to be my favorite. It was like a blue label. Like, I think it's soy sauce flavor now or something like that. Chicken. No high class Kraft mac and cheese. No, you guys get Velveeta mac and cheese around here. My kids don't eat that mac and cheese powder stuff. Yeah, Birdman, there you go. That's what it was. Obviously, I'm not going to say that word on stream. It's a little offensive, but yeah, it's like soy sauce flavor now. Yeah, Ken Davis got it. Ken Davis got it. No, that's good, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me a little bit. I do want to show one more thing. A little bit of an idea. I did pick up some of this red ASA from 3DO. So this came off of Fabrico's website. I put in a small order with those guys, and 3DO filament right now, specifically this limited edition raspberry red color, is only $15. $15 for a, it says 1 kilo, but I think it's only like 0.8. I'm confused because the site says one thing and the box says another. Soy in Indiana. Yeah, it's soy out here too in California. You're Asian, you're allowed. Yeah, Birdman, you can say whatever you like. By the way, great name. That's one of my favorite songs when I was in high school. Zims 3D, haven't seen you in a while. Happy Sunday, sir. I need to reach out to you. We got some rat rig questions. But this is that raspberry red from 3DO. Again, $15 for what is supposed to be 1 kilo of filament. So it looks really good. I need to figure out what I'm gonna print with this. I've got a few things. I've got a couple of edamames I need to make, and I have a Sakura kit, 3D sets that I need to build. Nerf impactor. That's a good way. But Zims, yeah. So rat rig. Sorry. I want to go back down, I think, to just single nozzle. IDEX is not really good for me. I am getting crazy input shaping, terrible prints, like it's just not good. And so I was kind of perusing through the Rat Rig Discord and reading some folks' stuff and some of their challenges, and it seems like when you add on IDEX on top of the hybrid drive that Rat Rig uses, it's just really difficult to get it tuned correctly. So I think I'm gonna go down a single tool head. I will probably keep the hybrid and the tube, but the other tool head that I remove, I will probably, I don't know, repurpose those parts into other builds. You thought it was 0.7 kilos? So whatever the website says, right? Like when you look on Fabrico, I want to say it says that it is 0.8. So let me look over here. We'll take a look together while we continue our chat. I'm having a good time. Yeah, so here you go. Like this is the one that I got, right? It's only 15 bucks and it's limited edition raspberry red. Here it says it's 0.7 kilos. But I'll show you on the box. On the box it says 1 kilo. Come on. It says 1 kilo. So I don't know who to believe. You're assembling edamame right now. Cool. Yeah, I've got two down here. I've got the one with the wire. I've got the mini pack. And I got two of these, one for each of my girls. And yeah, I need to make them. I picked these up when I was at Rocky Mountain. I have not done anything with them. They've been sitting right down there on the shelf since Rocky Mountain. I need to get off my butt and do some stuff. Excessive Builds is from South Africa. Local filament is not the best, not much color variance, and to import is crazy expensive. I understand. It's challenging in some parts of the world to do that thing. I am curious though, like what is available to you? I know that it's not great and it's really expensive, but what sort of filaments do you guys have? And I'm trying to understand, is it just PLA? Is it just crappy ABS? Like what's the limitation? It does look like a full spool clown hammer, but I don't know. The spool itself, if I look at that, it says the empty weight is 0.24 and the full weight is 1.2. And then the label says 1.75 1 kg. So somebody's got their numbers mixed up. It also only says red on here, not raspberry red. The scale, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Minamame, that's the name. There you go, Damascus Everglades, Minamame. I've got two of those. You've been a Prusa enthusiast for a long time, having 3 Mark IIIs. JC Productions, we got to turn one of those into a Prusawire. These things are starting to multiply now. What started as an April Fool's joke has now become a real life thing. And if you've got 3, that means you got 2 workhorses. You can afford to take one down and modify it into a Prusawire. Looking at the spool, it doesn't look as filled as. I agree. It is not up to the brim, but I think if you went any more, you wouldn't be able to use the holes where you would store it away. I don't have a scale out here, or I would just put it on a scale and tell you. But it's irrelevant, really. Like, we're talking 0.2, we're talking 200 grams of filament. And I got 2 of these. So I think I want to make the Sakura out of it. That's why I was asking you questions, Steve, about if ABS was okay. I think I'm going to print the test piece and see how that scales and whatnot, and then make adjustments from there. But this red is pretty enough that I want to do my torque out of it. Prusa enthusiast, very long time. Look at what Bamboo Lab is doing. Creality, why doesn't Prusa rebuild their bed size for something big? I tend to agree. But if you think about what most people print, most of what is printed, do something thin like the hood for a test piece. Will do. Thanks for the pro tip. I know you've done several of these. This is my very first one, and I don't want to have a bad experience because I really want to get that 6-wheel truck that they just released. And I feel like if I have a bad experience, I'm not going to want to do any more because it is an investment to do a 3 sets build. Both filament, time, you know, and the kit itself, plus all the extra parts you need for you know, tires and remote control and stuff like that, batteries, whatever. But JC Productions, I tend to agree with you, but I would say that a Prusa bed, most people print what a Prusa build size would get. So, for example, I've got a 350 over there. Rarely do I ever print anything that is 350 in size. I printed a Halloween bowl for Halloween candy this year, and I printed that on my Delta. My Delta is 320 in size, and I just scaled it to that build volume. So this bowl is a 320 bowl, and that's probably the largest thing that I've printed in the last couple of months. Most of the things I print are like for the Prusawire, like this size, right? So roughly this in X and Y, but it's incredibly thin, so I don't even need something that's super tall. This would be great on a Prusa build plate. So I understand it from that point. I think where they're getting a little off base is like the update stuff. Like the Mark IV wasn't a huge leap, other than we went to 32-bit finally, and you know, some other quality of life type stuff, some Wi-Fi, things like that. But realistically, it's still the same tech that the Mark III was. So you're keeping with that classic thing. I think a leap forward though is like the Core 1. I think the Core 1 is great, especially in like a workhorse type scenario when you have a wall full of these things. I think a Core 1 is a smart move. Again, you're dealing with that build volume that most people will use. And for your power users, there are options out there. Everything up to, you know, a meter cubed if you want it. eSun's the only known here because of reseller imports and not always in stock. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. So excessive builds, you have to import from AliExpress and that kind of stuff? You have to order from China to get decent filament? I wonder if Polymaker gets down to South Africa. The local filament place where you get PETG, printing in 220, prints really well on 60. Very nice. Reach out if you need suggestions. I appreciate it, Steve. I'll probably do that. You know what? I'll reach out anyway, just to say hi and catch up, and we could set up a date to do lunch again. I miss your face. I see you almost every Saturday and almost every Sunday, but I still miss your face. What about the neck extruder and new nozzles? Yes, I would say that's a little bit of an advancement. Really, what we're talking about is we took a V6 and we put a stainless tube on it, right? So now we end up with one long heat break that's easily swappable and whatever. Some might argue that's not a huge leap. It's a improvement, but it's roughly the same. I don't know that anything other than like a CHT comes to mind as far as a huge leap forward as far as new nozzle technology. You could argue something like a Revo is a leap forward because the way that it connects to the heat break now, that was pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not a Prusa hater, but I also don't own a Prusa. Just release the original neck extruder. Yeah, I could see it being useful on other type builds. So we were talking about Nathan's project over here, the what are we calling it? The Legacy Fork. A neck extruder would work great on there, I think. So much love in the print community. Heck yeah. That's because you guys are fantastic, and we do a lot of work to support each other. So it really is an everybody counts kind of community, and an everybody come together to make this what it is kind of community. And I'm, for one, happy to be here and part of it. So thank you all for inviting me in. Let me do my weird stuff here on stream. You need to own a Prusa? Need? That's a strong word. I'll say it that way. I want a Core 1 because I want to play with it. I want to see what it's about. I'm hearing, you know, some people really don't like it. They're mad about what it is, and other people really kind of like what it is. When I think about Prusa, I just want it to work. For me, it's very much in the vein of Bamboo Lab, where you buy the printer, you plug it in, there's the ecosystem there, you have the material from the same company, the profiles are there, you load stuff up, you hit print, and it just kind of works out. Of course, you're going to have failures and issues and things like that, and you need to work through it. But for the most part, those things just kind of work. I think there's a need for that. I chose to go the Bamboo Lab route, because it was more affordable for me at the time than investing in the Prusa aspect. I got in on the X1 Carbon launch back when it was a Kickstarter, and that kind of led me into the H2D, and both have been fantastic printers. Like I said, I've got over 5,000 hours on the X1 Carbon at this point, and over 1,200 hours on the H2D at this point. And I just got the H2D in April, so it's 5 months old, and I've got over 1,200 hours on it. John, you're going to want to talk to Reth. He does a lot of 285. Really, the challenge for that one is you're limited on hot ends and extruders that can actually still push 285 these days. There's not a lot of support out there. What comes to mind, Mosquito does a 285. I want to say a Volcano, sorry, not a Volcano, a V6. You can still get in a 2.85 variant. And an Orbiter, I believe, can do 285. I'm not aware of much else outside of those items that can even run it. So you'll probably have to do a V6, which doesn't have the flow you're going to want. So you're going to have to slow down. And an Orbiter if you're looking for an extruder. Core plus Index would be cool. Yes. I saw the teaser. That's kind of the reason I want to get a Core 1. I'm just not ready to do that yet. GTR the caps. No, I like the caps. I like the caps. Just don't do it too much. I think the cloud bot will yell at you. I'm surprised they didn't hit Jeremy earlier for his 4-letter words. But yeah, who you would want to reach out to is Reth. He's part of 3D Printing Elves. Him and Voron Widow run the 3D Printing Elves nonprofit, and most of their stuff is 285. I was just up there a couple of weeks ago hanging out with them for a few hours, eating lunch together, figuring out this raffle stuff, and it was kind of showing me some of the challenges of running 285. There's just not a lot of hardware out there anymore that would support that unless you want to buy an Ultimaker. They also showed Index on the V-Core. Yes, they did. And I don't want to mess with my V-Core though. I would love my V-Core the way it is with a tube, being a 300. Everything is CNC'd. I just need to undo the IDEX portion of it, and then I think it'll be a great machine. I just need to spend some time. I've been distracted. I mean, if that's what you want to do, John, I'm sure they would be happy to help you out. But what I would recommend is just bite the bullet and swap over to 175. That's what almost everything supports these days. You can probably find Reth on Voron Discord. I think he's also in like the Stealth Changer Discord. Yeah, it sucks like when technology moves along and you don't keep up with it, because you feel like you have all this, investment in parts and pieces and stuff, but the hobby and the support system has moved on, and so you're left with like, well, what do I do with all this stuff? That's kind of the reason that I've been doing the series that I've been doing is sorry, the garage just made a noise, but it's kind of the reason I've been doing the series I've been doing is because I'm in that same boat. I have a couple of printers that are 2, 3, 4 years old, and the support system just isn't there anymore, so we have to update things. So we did that with the Second Cube. We're doing that right now with the Prusawire. We're doing it again with the V0, which is not super out of date, but there are mods out there that improve some of the quality of life features and make the V0 a little bit easier to use, a little bit easier to build, things like that. And so that's kind of where I've been the last couple of months, is doing that stuff. And it's been fun. It's cool breathing new life back into old machines. We have an Ultimaker 3 Extended, as well as the new variant of that machine. They fired near the bigger filament, but unfortunately no one else does stuff that big. Yeah. Except for big industrial companies, yeah. Yep. You're absolutely right. As a blind person, you want to recreate yourself several times, so now you do embroidery. That's cool. What kind of embroidery? Do you make like patches and stuff like that? Or are we talking like embroidered t-shirts, embroidered hats? Embroidery is one of those things. I bought my wife, she's a seamstress, kind of, that's one of her hobbies. She's got like 18. But one of them is sewing and stuff like that. I ended up getting her an embroidery machine. She's used it 3 times. I'm so proud. Very, very proud. 3 whole times embroidering stuff. So I'd say that's, you know, pretty useful for 5 years of ownership. Well, cool, folks. I think we're getting down to the wire. JC does patches. He does hats, sleeve prints, stuff for university. So a lot of hats, patches, chest logos. You have an industrial forehead machine. That's cool. You have a 5-head machine? Like, look at this. There's a lot of space there. Do you have a 5-head machine? Thank you so very much for everything that you do in the print community. Oh, man. So there are people, I will always say this, there are people out there who do way more than I do. I'm a talking head that comes on stream, and it's completely selfish. It's me trying to get my projects completed and over the line, and hopefully inspire some of you to do the same thing by dedicating time, blocks of time in your week to do a thing that you like. And completed projects are happy projects. And that's why we do this. So I appreciate your kind words. I would ask that you levy that on much more notable people than I. For example, Reth and Voron Widow, who run an entire 3D printing nonprofit where they donate toys to kids year-round, but especially at Christmas time. Those are great folks. Clownhammer's another great person. He's here too. Lee Marie, they do a lot of stuff for the community as well. For example, they've helped me figure out what it means to be a streamer. Even though I'm small, and I think I prefer that, they've helped me learn how to get consistent growth so that we bring the channel to most folks, to a lot more people. So there's a ton of people out there that can help you do stuff. I just wish I could reciprocate and help you with the embroidery stuff. I know nothing about it. This is my one hobby other than, you know, this motorcycle over my shoulder here. That's kind of my other hobby. But, hey, we're all here. GTR's awesome. GTR Dad's awesome. Yeah, he does a lot. Wait, that's not it. Definitely send me a text with all this stuff. Very interested when the pandemic hit. It's part of the teams that created the face frames. Very cool. We personally did with 7 machines around the clock. Yeah, so I was living in Japan at the time, and where I was, there was not a lot of 3D printing community type people, and so I did the same thing. I had a single Ender 3, and I learned how to, you know, stack all those face frames up and print. So I would print 7 at a time, over and over and over again. I had just gotten my Ender 3. I had it for 2 or 3 months. And that became a thing, and so that's my small part of what I did, excuse me, for that. So thanks for making that model and getting it out there. 30,000 face frames, that's amazing. Cybertech, you are awesome. Oh, if you don't know, Cybertech posted a brand new tool head for Voron. You can find it on Printables. Cybertech, I don't know that you are able to post, but I would ask, let's get you some visibility, sir. If you would, indulge me a little bit and drop your, what is it, your link to your toolhead in the chat. Let me, there you go. There you go. If you would drop your link to your toolhead in the chat, we'll get it out there for you. And then we'll start wrapping up stream. We're at the 2-hour mark. I know Steve is going live here in roughly 25 minutes or so, 25, 30 minutes. And I'm probably going to go over there and enjoy some Steve streaming while cleaning up this place and trying to print some stuff. Sorry, feeling like a little bit under the weather today too. I drank too much last night. There it is. Yeah, so if you want to take a look real quick at Cybertek's new tool head, he just released this one, what, 2 days ago? Cybertek? 2 or 3 days ago on printables. It's called the Cypher tool head. So the claim to fame to this, and Cybertek, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you can take it apart with 2 screws. So you don't have to do 8, 9, 10 screws to, you know, remove your tool head. 2 screws. And it looks pretty cool too. What are those, 40, 20 fans on there? Oh, 50, 15s. Okay. Oh, I got to show you guys something. So we're showing off filament. We were talking about Pet G. We talked about Hedamame and stuff like that. I want to show you guys this too. I got, the other day, something super amazing cool. And I want to show you this. All right. If you don't know, Cartographer, sorry, wrong button. Here we go. If you don't know Cartographer, you're wrong, number 1. But number 2, they're most known for their eddy sensor probe that makes bed leveling super quick and super convenient. So just mounts to the bottom of your tool head, works similar to a beacon, but can run on CAN bus. So let's move this limousine out of the way. Cartographer now does fans. I just learned this maybe 2 weeks ago and picked up a couple of each of their offerings. One of them is for a stealth burner. So that would be this one here. And it's a metal 50-15 fan. So there's a small control board inside there and a small motor here. Everything else is CNC'd aluminum and anodized red. And this is for a stealth burner. So that fits right in there, no mods. You don't have to cut anything, trim off any ears. And it's a 3-wire fan, so you'll have a tack sensor as well. So this is going to be for my 3030 V2 project called Vivo, who Boothie builds, who's often in the chat. That is a Boothie Builds design. It takes a hypercube frame, a 3030 frame, and converts it into a V2.4. I did that mod 2-ish years ago, and recently he released his toolhead called the BAM Burner. It uses a 50-15 fan and a Bamboo Lab hot end, so you get affordable high flow, and goes into a much tighter package. So I want to do that, and so that's what this fan is for here. And it looks like you can unscrew the blades. It does. Beta 1. Yeah, I feel like my chat's not keeping up. 1 second. Yeah, fan is bananas. So that's the CNC fan, right? I'll keep this out for comparison. That's the CNC version. So that's available. They are pricey. I want to say they're like $30 for one of these. So, I mean, having just the one, it probably is going to last you. It's not going to break or anything like that. It is aluminum, like I said, so you could pull it apart and clean it if you need to. The other one is this one, a more traditional 50-15 fan. And this one appears to be like MJF. So 3D printed. Let me know if I need to mod my tool head for that fan. So this one will work with your tool head, Cybertek. Still unscrew. This one is not metal though. I feel like it is MJF, and it's more traditional. So you have the mounting points and stuff like you would find on a plastic fan, although the internals are the same. A little bit different blade structure in here. It's really difficult to see down in there, but you can see the blade structure is different than a normal 50-15 fan. So I forget the specs on this, but the airflow and CFM is insane on these. So they have that's the traditional one, and then they have a second one that's a mirror. And so I picked up 4 of these. So these 2 plus 2 more. This is the mirrored version, and this is the one that has the metal internals from the stealth burner inside of here. So if you wanted to mirror, you can now. So Cybertek, if you're going to modify anything, I would modify for this, and that way you can have these on the side and they both face the same way. Symmetry matters to me because it hurts my brain when things are not symmetrical. This helps, but it's still two different colors, so that hurts my brain as well. And this is the other one, so we got two of those, and there are my 4 fans. Yeah, Petty, this is the reverse version here. Just mirror one side. Yep, that's true. Good, just mirror one side. Symmetry is beautiful. And just show the other one. Yeah, so these, like I said, are not cheap. In fact, let's go to the cartographer website, and because I don't want to misquote what I was saying. These are probably sold out by now, because as soon as these dropped, I was in here trying to buy them, and I don't even see them on the website anymore. Yeah, there you go. They're called the Cyclone, and 32. Yep, so I was correct. So 32. The stealth burner version sold out, but the reversed and the standard are available if you want those. $32 per each. I think it was meant for this Blackbird. So this is from Armchair. This is their Blackbird toolhead. And again, talking about symmetry, you have the two fans at the bottom here that can provide that. So bring in warm air from the bed area and blow that down onto the print. So if you're interested, we'll drop these in chat for folks. Let's do this. And I'll drop these in here for you guys, so you can get to them if you want. Unpin that. Yeah, $31 a fan is not cheap. There you go. So if you want to get in there and get some of those, you can do that. But cool. I think that's all of the things and stuff that happened this week. Kind of the big news of what's been going on. I'm trying to remember if anything else significant happened. Yeah, I don't think that's it. We showed off the new filament. We showed the fans. We talked about status of projects. Yeah, 7.2 CFM. That's the highest of any of 15 fans that I've seen. 7.2 is insane. I'm a little upset that the regular version doesn't have the CNC'd internals like the mirrored version does, so that makes them mismatch. I don't know if I just ordered the incorrect one or whatever, but it is what it is. Hey, Jason. Thanks for jumping in. We're just about to wrap up here. So, I'll close it out like always. Thanks to everyone for coming by. Thanks for hanging out for a couple of hours. Talking shop and 3D printing and projects and stuff like that. Site makes it looks like the same. Yeah, that's what I thought. You saw what I got. So, but thanks to all those that are coming out. You guys really made the channel go over the hump to where we can... Yeah, you did. I'm sorry. You have to go back and watch the replay, Jason. It'll post roughly 10 minutes after we wrap up here. So, yeah, you guys made the channel what it is. We were able to be a partner because of you all liking the stream, sharing the stream, participating in stream, and watch time matters. That's what YouTube cares about. So every hour that you hang out with me on a Sunday is another hour that helps us grow. So thanks to all of you for making this happen. I appreciate every single person. Congrats on the milestone. Yeah, thank you so much. Have the best kind of day, everybody. So Jason, yeah, you'll have to go back and watch the live stream. There's not much happening. We kind of ran out of parts, so we got to make some orders and stuff like that. I'm gonna clean that up and we'll do better next time. Try to fail forward a little more each day. Yeah, like Zim says, you guys have a great week. We'll see you back here later on this week. I'm still trying to figure out the member thing, so if you have an idea and you're in my Discord, ping me. Tell me what your ideas are. What would you like to see that are for my members only that I can give back to you all for your support. I'm open to ideas. So let me know what you want to see. We'll throw up a poll in there later, and you'll be able to vote once I get some ideas from you all. But yeah, thanks, Boothie. Thanks for hanging out and lurking and being a support system and a buddy and a friend, like always. So I appreciate you especially. Otherwise, y'all enjoy your Sundays. Go do something nice with your families and enjoy yourselves.